new message. New messages.
Henrik, I know what his arrival means to this place. And I know the size of the operation. But I have to say, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Jack. She's not herself. I'm starting to wonder, all this time she's been supporting me in my depression. I should have seen that she needed support too.
I think you're going to be all right here.
I like the feel of it already.
Do you have a family of your own, John?
There are people I care deeply about, yeah. And others I consider family, absolutely.
Oh, is this yours?
Yeah. Comes everywhere with me. First time it's ever been caged in a frame, though.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get the porters to sort it.
No, I wouldn't want to insult whoever it was went to all this trouble. But if it was to say, break, I'll consider it shattering, a catharsis of some kind. Or a chaos, if you prefer. Don't worry. I'll clear up any mess. Nerves?
I'm never nervous.
Darwin clinical lead. Instigator of Holby City's stent trial program, leader of cardiac trauma unit, performed several hemicorporectomies, an obscene amount of pulmonary endarterectomies. He pushed for the Herzig 5 when no one else believed in it. And the first surgeon here to implement stem cell projects. So this. I know my predecessor, Mr. Self, performed a similar procedure.
Successfully.
What happened to him must have been tough. I'm not here to replace anyone.
The consequences of this will be severe, but you've brought this on yourselves.
Jeremy Warren. This is the second one today. The first one said something about the red-haired doctor.
Jack? What's this got to do with Jack?
Beth? Rosie? Rosie, can you hear me? Rosie, my love? Can you tell us where it hurts?
Long, hard contractions.
Right, these babies are coming, my love, okay?
Check, but possibly. The shock of the hypothermia must have triggered labour. Where's that CTG monitor?
I don't know. Oh, Terry, thank you.
I'll need to check the cervix. Who's this?
This is Ezra. The police found him looking for his mum.
I don't believe this.
We'll come back.
Mommy's going to be fine, but the doctors need to look at her and the babies, so we're going to come back, okay?
Okay.
Thoracotomy first, then identify the blood supply to the tumour. Insert the graft to bypass that area, ligate the blood supply to the tumour. Once that's done, remove the part of the vertebral body over the tumour in order to access it, remove the tumour, and put the implant in. The imperative to isolate the blood vessel properly cannot be stressed enough. Once the tumour has been excised from the aorta, well, we all know the risks. As ever, be decisive.
Ref, emergency C-section on the bradycardic baby.
Well, they're over 30 weeks.
Only just.
But if we do a C-section now, we have a better chance of having 3 live babies. We leave them in, the mother deteriorates, and then what?
What happened to your faith in ECMO? But keep the babies warm. If you bring Rosie in now, there's a chance of a huge bleed and potential hysterectomy.
Oh, she's young. I'll try and avoid that.
You might not have a choice.
You trust me, don't you?
Of course. Mr. DeLuca, the ultrasound is showing a bleed between the uterus and the placenta.
Abruption? Well, can we get an IV bolus of oxytocin and 800 micrograms of misoprostol into her, please?
Sure, do you want me to scrub in? You don't have to do the cesarean hysterectomy.
No, it's fine.
It can't be the only option.
How are they doing?
Too early to say.
Yeah.
How about you? Everything okay? Fine. Just wish I was in there.
Must be strange watching the two of them operate together after all this time. Like being back at college. I have to admit, the more I read about what this is, the more I'd like to be in there too.
Professor Hopkins?
It was at university that you met your wife and Gaskell, right?
Who's this guy?
It's Mr. Valentine.
Valentine, eh? What are we watching?
It's all right. I've got this. Miss Macmillan, it's David.
Go, we'll be fine.
This bit's sticking.
BP's dropping. Bleed. Huge bleed.
Pax, please.
Miss Macmillan, go, please.
I need some help here. Okay, there's too much blood. Let's have an aortic clamp, please.
He didn't recognise me. Then he didn't know where he was. Nurse Chilton saw him collapse and I dismissed it. I'm sorry.
Don't
I
apologise.
don't know what I was thinking. My head... Well, there's no excuse for it. I don't know why I doubted you or David's condition and the severity of it.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. I jumped to a false conclusion based on my own dented ego and my need to...
I haven't been honest. I haven't been honest with him. I told him he wasn't eligible for the project. That his decline wasn't as severe as... He can remember in great detail operations he's done before, recall the most obscure medical dialect, like the language of his workplace keeps energized. Young. So I wanted him here, where I could see him, of course, but because where he's at his best. The best David. I abandoned the project for false hope. Selfish, isn't it?
Roxana, you know it's more complicated than that.
His speech is slurred. I think he's having a stroke.
Okay. As soon as the aortic graft is stitched, I can begin the hemivertebrectomy. I'll need a 5mm diamond burr, some rongeurs. There's no, eh? Send someone for the scaffold, please. Needs to be here in the next 10 minutes. I need some flow seal, clotting activator, and a Casper retractor. Quickly, please. Just let me know when you've stitched.
I can't do this. It's not going to work.
Take over.
It's not right. What you're doing is not right.
are shaking.
I am fine. Why is everyone assuming there is something wrong with me today? I am questioning your methods. Do not make this into something
I
else.
feel no need to advertise
Which
myself.
makes you truly ethical.
If you like, yeah.
You are feeding on their uncertainty.
See, I think you understand. We live the same paradox. You want disorder. You need it. Because like me, you see coherence that way.
You need me.
I need your skills, yeah.
You need me to trust you, and I'm sorry, but I don't know you.
No, I don't need you to trust me. I need you to doubt everything I do, to criticize, interrogate all of it. Like clarity's an ending. Uncertainty is the purest thing we have. But for the rest of them, yes, I need your endorsement. I haven't got the time for them to catch up. I need them to see it firsthand, witness what this can do.
You need them to witness what you can do. You have everything to lose.
I know what you're going through.
Don't.
I've been to that place.
I said don't.
Then help me. I need them to see you finish. We both do.
Professor Gaskell.
Where is she?
I need more blood. 6 units.
There's a bleed. I see, I've been there. Fallen for a case because I needed to somehow know the world still turned the way I was told.
I've done 2 layers of suturing.
We'll have to do the hysterectomy.
No. Look, we'll stop the heparin infusion and do an ACT. I'll let it drop to 180.
You can't attach meaning to this. It's not fair. On anyone. Whether the baby's alive, whether the mother does. The outcome is just that. An outcome. Yeah. And come on.
Inserting the stem cell scaffold into the space I've carved. Careful to mind the clip from the earlier bleed.
BP's rising.
Systemic reaction to the growth medium. He's having an immune response.
Need to lower the blood pressure.
Autonomic release of adrenaline. We need a GTN infusion, please. Let's get that pressure down. Clips come off the artery. Miss Naylor, leave a stitch. I'll cut the suture. When you bleed out, use your hand as a swab.
Pledge it. This is Naylor's triad of bleeding. All blood comes from vessels. All bleeding comes from cut vessels. All bleeding eventually stops.
Stopped. Bleed stopped. Just hang there a second. All babies are okay.
Rosie, did you manage to... Is she okay?
Yeah. So, mother and 3 babies. All worked out.
Naylor's triad of bleeding. All blood comes from vessels. All bleeding comes from cut vessels. All bleeding eventually stops. This is Naylor's triad of bleeding. All blood comes from vessels. All bleeding comes from cut vessels. All bleeding eventually stops.
She did it. Of course she did. To see you insert yourself, please. Let's clean this up, shall we?